Posting to the front end of your website from a form opens up so many possibilities. You can allow guest authors to write a post that you can later edit and then publish. You can allow clients to leave reviews for your services and then post them to the front end after you reviewed them, and so much more, all from forms without ever having these clients or authors have access to the back end of your website. Aloha everybody, welcome back to the channel where my goal is to help you make better WordPress websites for yourself, your community, and your clients. Today we're working with Ninja Forms and the post to the front end feature that allows you to post to the front end of your website from a form on the front end of your website. I'll have the links below to the appropriate plugins and functions that you'll need to follow along. They are affiliate links, and if you use them, they do help the channel grow, and I appreciate your support. So without further ado, let's get to work. If we come over here to my demo forms, you'll see I have a place here in which I'm going to put my form. And I'm going to create a form that will appear here that I or my author and users can fill out to create a post. Let's come on over here to Ninja Forms. And in order to do this, you are going to either need to get the professional. Now the professional version will allow you to do the post creation, and it will also allow you to do file uploads. So if you need your author or your user that is creating this post, if you need them to upload a file or an image, for instance, you would need this upgrade. You could get the a la carte version and just get these individually, or you could get this license that gives you both of them, okay? Along with other integrations that you could choose, and multiple sites. Go ahead and purchase the program that works best for you. Then after you've done that, what you want to do is go ahead and log in. And once you're logged in, you need to come over here to downloads. And then depending on the services that you've paid for and have will depend on this list here of downloads that you have available for you. Look for front end posting. Download that and install that. And if you would like to have them to be able to upload a picture, you need to do this one as well, the file uploads. Download those into your WordPress installation and I'll meet you there. And if we come into my WordPress dashboard and into my plugins, you'll see that we have the Ninja Forms, file uploads, and the post creation. So make sure they're both activated and we could get ready. So once those are downloaded, we could go to our Ninja Forms settings, and you'll see the list of forms that I have here. And so we are going to go ahead and select add new. And the first thing we are going to do is create our form. And we are going to go ahead and just use a template form they have here for create a post. And we'll go through the settings. You could start with a blank form so that it can be more customized to however you need it. But this is a great place if you're just getting started with creating a post that goes to the front end with the form. So let's go ahead and click on this guy. Okay, and we're brought to our form. Let's go ahead and open up. You'll see they've added a note here. This note does not show up on your form, so you could delete it when you are done. So when submitted, this form will create a post. The fields on this tab are used to define your title, your content, and this meta value. So what it's saying here is that these three fields right here are what's going to populate your post. Now you could go and add more fields and add whatever you want to have in your front end. And of course that's going to be limited to the form functions of Ninja Forms. Okay, and so if you preview this form and submit it, you'll see it creates a draft post with the custom meta value post vibe. All of these are mapped on the create post action underneath the emails and action tabs. And we're going to go through all of that right now. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close this, and we're going to go ahead and get rid of the note too, okay? So it's out of the way. Okay, so let's just go ahead and go through these fields and see how they have them set up. So let's go ahead and open it, and you'll see it's a single line text, okay? So let's go ahead and close it. You could add this yourself by coming over here and looking for this single line text, okay? And that's how they got these fields in here. If you're new to Ninja Forms, this is how they got the fields into here. If you're not new to Ninja Forms, you know how this works. And I'm going to assume most of you have some basic knowledge of how to set up a form on Ninja Forms. That's what we are going to do. We are just going to go ahead and go through the settings that they have on these three fields. So let's go ahead and open this guy back up. And it's our single line text. This is the label. It is just the label for the field. This will not show up on the front end of your post. This is going to be required. You do not want your author to come in here and just fill out incomplete forms and incomplete posts. So you want to make sure a majority of these fields are required. This is going to be where the author puts the title. And let's see what kind of restrictions they have here. There's no restrictions, but you may want to limit the number of characters you could have in here so that you don't end up with titles that are way too long, okay? And it also might stop. Sometimes the author will begin writing their paragraphs in here and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's just go ahead and close those restrictions. Let's look at the display. The display is nothing has been set up in display. This is where you could add custom classes to your form containers if you need to. For this post, we're gonna keep all our styling really basic and really simple, okay? The add administration, it gives every field that you make a field key. Okay, so everything is set up in here fine. Let's go to our content. And this is basically just a paragraph text box. And you could just add this by going to paragraph text. And once you have done that, you would open up the settings, give it your label. For instance, this is your content. We could change this to say post content. All right, we're gonna keep this required. So we're just gonna go ahead and close that. And then here is something interesting that Ninja Forms has decided to add it. And this is just basically a select box. If you wanted to add something like that, it is a select field that you could populate with a variety of answers. We're just gonna go ahead and leave this in there. This is the bonus part. This is gonna show you how you could use WordPress meta boxes to add custom data to your post. This gets a little bit more advanced. You could skip this or meet me at the end of this video where I show you how to put the WordPress custom meta fields in your WordPress post. So let's just go ahead and open this and you'll see it's basically just a radio list with the label and the options, okay? So we're gonna press done there. And then finally there is a create post button. So the label is create post. You could change the label to Okay, so we're gonna press done here and you'll see my title has changed to submit post. So let's go over here to where the magic happens, and that is in emails and actions. I'm not gonna go over in detail all these options. I have a video that I'll have linked below on setting up Ninja Forms, and I go over all these different types of settings. These are functions that happen after the submit button has been pushed, okay, and the form has gone through. So they have set up here a success message. This is what the author is gonna see when they fill out their form. It's gonna say your post has been created as a draft. Once an administrator reviews it, it will be published. So let's just make it custom by saying thanks. And we're gonna press done with this guy. Okay, and then they have an email. This is gonna be the email that gets sent to the administrator of your website that is going to finally want to edit it and then publish it. It's going to spit out all the fields that have been filled out, okay? But maybe we also want a custom message. Okay, and so maybe we want something like a new draft has been posted. Please review it and publish, all right? So we're going to press done on this one. And then finally, we have what makes it all happen is the create post function. And if you don't see this here, you could come over here and you will see you have different functions that could happen after this has been sent, okay? And this one is right here. You would just click on this one and it would appear over here. And what we are gonna do is gonna open it up and go through its settings. So once again, we have the name of the action is create post, okay? What you can select here is your post type. So once again, I want to remind you that a post in WordPress doesn't just relate to a blog post. A page is a post, a template is a post, parts of your templates are posts, images are posts. You'll have custom post types. If your theme allows you to create a portfolio, that is a custom post. If your theme allows you to create a food recipe, that is a custom post, and that is a post. So posts come in all forms and sizes, okay? So we are not gonna make a page, but you can. We are gonna make a post, okay? The post that we know, which is a blog post. All right, so let's just select that. And then again, it's got a field title. It's got a post title. It's going to be right here. And what it's doing is it's going to look for the field that we had set up where the author is going to create their post. Okay. And so you could look for your fields right here and you'll find your title and you would just click that and it puts it in there. And we definitely do not want it twice. And then finally, what's going to go in your post content. And then in the post content, you could just come over here and select it. You want your post content to go in there. If you had more things that you wanted to set up in your post and to be displayed, you would create more fields in your form and then select them here as you go, and it will show up in your post content, okay? Definitely want to get rid of that thing right there. So that's our post content. And just for funsies here, I want to see if it spits out this guy right there. So let's select that one, okay? We are going to go ahead and just scroll down here. And we are still in our create post function, and we could open up terms and taxonomies. And this is where, when this post is created, what kind of category would you want it to be? So if you had a category like baking or something like that, you could select the categories here. Okay, in this website, I do not have any categories set up, but if I did, they would set them up right here, okay? And or you could have it automatically select go to uncategorized. And then that way, you as the editor, before publishing this blog post, can go in there and assign it whatever categories you want. Blog post, page, whatever kind of post that you are creating, all right? Okay, and then if you had tags as well set up on your WordPress website, you could add those here. Moving on down to advanced settings is the post author. So when this post gets sent to you, who are you gonna have as the author? So you might have a lot of different people adding to this post, right? You might have users filling out this post for an event that they're going to attend. You might have users creating posts of all types and sorts. So you don't necessarily want all the authors to be themselves. So a lot of times you want to select yourself as the author, and then later on, if you need to change the author, you can do it in the back end before you publish it. Next, we're going to have the post status. It's just as it sounds. When this is published, you probably don't want it to go straight to published, because you want to make sure everything gets edited and goes through you first. So you probably want to have it as a pending review. So a draft is when something's been written already and created, and a pending review is when it needs to be looked at before getting published. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and do pending review, and the post format will be standard. Now, again, depending on how your WordPress website is set up, you will have different options that you could choose from. Post excerpt. If you wanted to add a post excerpt in here, you could. If you wanted to make a field in your post form, you could make a field and have it populate right in here, okay, by coming in here and choosing the field that you created, just like we did with the other sections of this post. Okay, so and now we are down to the bonus custom meta that they've added here. And what that's doing is that this is a name that we give it, and this is the value that's going to be shown. Okay, so let's just go ahead and delete this guy. And once again, we would come in here and we would say we want this to pull up this data. And then this is a key that we are going to give it. This is a name, a meta key name that we are going to give it. That's going to allow a certain function to find that, all right? Okay, and then finally, because we have the add file upload function set up in our Ninja Forms settings, we can also allow a file upload. And we forgot to add that. So let's just go ahead and go add that. Let's go ahead and come back to our form fields, and we want to add a field. So let's go add a field, and we're going to select upload file. You'll see it drops it in here, and we could go ahead and just move that up, and let's have that moved up right after the title so that we make sure we get it. Okay, so let's come into here and go to its settings. And this says file upload. Maybe we want to call this, maybe this post is an author setting up a profile, and they're gonna have a profile image. You could also call this upload featured image, and we are gonna make this required. We want the author to go and do this work. We don't want to have to do it for them, okay? Or you can make it not required. It's gonna be up to you. We are gonna save this to our server. You have the option to rename your uploaded file, which we are not gonna do. And you could also have it saved to your media library. In case you wanna access it again, that would be a good option to select. Okay, and in this file upload, you might want to have restrictions. In file uploads, you want to be very careful of what you're gonna allow your users to upload and how many uploads they make. Okay, because this could really bog down your website if you let them make tens to hundreds of uploads. So we're gonna do a file limit of 1. Allowed file types. Now you do not want to let them to just allow any type of file upload. You definitely want to do something like upload it to known images only, okay? And so you could come down here and place in those few files that you want. And you could separate them with a comma, okay? So it would look something like that. And then you could set maximum file size and minimum file size as well. And once again, we have empty display settings. We go to advanced, it's the same. It's all basically all set up. Here's the field key auto-generated for it, and there will be no styles added. Okay, let's go ahead and press done on this guy. Come back to our email and actions and come back to our create post functions that we have here. Scroll back down to the bottom where we found the featured image. Okay, so the featured image is going to look for the upload featured image that we created, okay? So we're going to select that, and now it knows what to look for. There's no conditional logic set up on this, and you might not even have this option if you don't have conditional logic set up on your website. All right, so let's press done. And finally, we'll come over here to the advanced settings. Now, some of these you might not have, once again, depending on how your Ninja Forms is set up. And we're going to come over here to display settings and come over here and to see how they have things set up. Now, you could change the form title and everything else here. You could have it clear successfully completed forms, and you could also hide it so that that form isn't available again, okay? Then all the other settings are pretty much left empty and at default, all right? Okay, so we're gonna press done there, and then finally we are going to publish. So now that we've published our form, we're gonna close it, and you'll see down here we have our create a post, which we could come in here and edit it if we need to. And what we want to do is go ahead and grab this short code and copy it. All right, so let's go ahead and go, this where we'll leave open. So let's just go into my pages here, and we'll go to the demo Ninja Forms page, and we'll go to edit. This is built with Divi, so we are gonna edit with the Divi builder. And this is just a short code. So you could insert this short code in any template builder or the regular default WordPress builder. So let's go ahead and come in here. Let's just go ahead and go to our visual editor here. Come in here, press paste, give it some space, and press in our shortcode. Okay, and that's basically all you have to do to get your form into your front end of your website. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this, I'm gonna save my page, and then I'm gonna exit my visual builder. And you want to go to whatever page that you put that on so that you could view your form. So let's go ahead and go to our form. Somehow this got made into a two-part form. Okay, so I got rid of that multi-part form. So here we are at our create a post with Ninja Forms, okay? Here's our title, create a post, and that's what we are gonna do. We are gonna go ahead and fill out this form. So we're gonna create our title, and we'll call it submit a post with a form. And we are gonna go ahead and select files to upload for our featured image. And I'm just gonna go ahead and download a logo file that I have here, and it will upload it. And then I'm just gonna give it some content. And it's gonna say this post was created by a form on the front end of my website. So don't forget, we are on the website here. This is going to allow a user to create a post without ever having access to the back end of our website. So this is definitely for people that aren't regular authors. Even people that you set up as regular authors could use a system like this to create posts if you want them to. Finally, which best describes this post? And we're going to say this is super hip. And we are just going to go ahead and press submit post. This next button is here because for some reason Ninja Forms is thinking this is a multi-part form, and yours shouldn't show up like that. All right, so we're going to do submit post. And when it's done submitting, you will see we have our message here. Your post has been created as a draft. And now let's go to our post. And you'll see we have here a pending post called submit a post with a form. It's uncategorized, so we could add our own category if we want, and we can add tags to it. The best thing we could do in here is come in here and edit it before we publish it. Or you could just come in here, do a quick edit, come over here and change it to published, okay, if you want. Otherwise, let's just go ahead and come in and give this guy an edit. And if we come back, you'll see that it has the title, submit a post with the form has been filled out, and the content has been filled out here as well. And then you also see down here our bonus custom fields was added here as well, okay? It's got our name and it's got our value. This is the name that we gave it that will help us find it and help WordPress find it. And this is the value that it is gonna spit out. So let's say that this is all good, and we are gonna come back to our post and we are gonna make it public and we are gonna publish it, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and go and view our post. And you'll see our post is here on our blog page. You'll see the featured images here and our content in here. And you'll also see it spit out hip. Hey, just real quick, if you found this helpful thus far, please hit that like button so I know you like content like this and I can create more. I appreciate your support. Let's get back to work. Now, you'll notice that this is all unstylized. This is just pulling in the data and creating the post. How you stylize your post and how you create posts from data that you pull like this is going to be completely up to you, because there is literally 101 ways to create posts from data like we are doing. You could edit the form, you could edit your post page and do all kinds of things in WordPress to create a custom blog post, okay? And we can't go through that in this video here. But as for now, you'll see here, it's pulled up our featured image and our post and even our custom field there. Okay, cool. Now, one thing I wanted to do was, let's go back into our create a post form. Let's come back to our emails and actions and to our create a post function here. And you'll see in our post content, what we did was we added the post content and this bonus meta. Let's just give it a line space here and see if it gives us a line space. I don't know if it will. Let's just press done and then publish. Because see, this form does not stylize your front end at all. It's just pulling in the data, okay? And you'll see here that it is just pulling in the data and spitting out. So how you bring that data into your front end post is going to be completely up to you, because like I said, you could be creating a blog post, you could be using this to create a page, you could be using this form to create a review of your business and your services and your product, etc. Okay, so how you get this data onto your front end of your website and your blog post will be for another video. Okay, so let's once again come back into here to our functions here, and let's get rid of this field here, okay? So we got rid of that bonus metadata that they had there. We're gonna go ahead and publish to update it. Come back over here and you'll see that we still have the field there. It's just not, it just hasn't been inserted anywhere into our post function. Okay, so we come back here to our create a post function and you'll see that none of these has anything to do with that custom field. Come down in here, you'll see that the data is here. Now it's up to us to get this into WordPress website. Let me show you a bonus way to get this metadata that you create into your WordPress website. So what you need to do is you need to come to your cPanel and to your file manager to get into your files. So let's go to our file manager. You need to locate your files for that WordPress installation. Mine's under public HTML and under staging. Okay, so then you dig into your WordPress content and into your themes. Now what you need to do is you need to find in your parent theme your singles page PHP and place it into your Divi child folder. Okay, you do not want to make these file changes in your main theme. Okay, please do not do this unless you have a child theme set up. I will have a link above to how to create a child theme if you need one. And so what you want to do is find something. This varies from theme to theme. This could be called WP-content. And a lot of them, it's called single.php. And you want to copy this file. And I'm just going to go ahead and type this into child. Okay, and we're going to copy it and we're going to come back up, and what you want to do is copy that file and bring it into your Divi child, and you'll see it's right here, single.php. And we are going to edit this. We're going to make sure that we have backed up our website before we edit these files. And so there's this line of code here. Let me go ahead and copy it from off screen, and I'll have this on my website, and I'll have it below in the video description, and or I'll have a link to my website where you can grab the code as well. Okay, and what I want to do is have it come down after the article, okay, before the sidebar. This is basically your kind of like your WordPress loop, and we want to come down here and we're going to paste it after the article. And this is a WordPress function that's going to echo out the post metadata that has the ID. It's going to look for the ID that is called key, and if there's something in there, it will post it out. But remember, we called ours, let's just come back in here, we called ours post vibe. Okay, now this meta key is just a name. This is the field that it's going to spit out. All right, so let's come back down here, and we need to replace this with our name, post vibe. So it's going to say if there is data in this post vibe ID, then spit it out. Okay, and that's all we need. But we need to wrap this into some PHP tags here real quick, and then we'll come over here and close it. All right, so it should look like this. I will have this complete code added to my website, and then we are going to save this, and we are going to go ahead and close this file. Let's come back to our post and refresh it. And it hasn't refreshed our form that we set up and stuff like that, but it has, if you scroll down here, spit out our data for that field, which was hip. Let's see if we can move that above. And another thing is, before you start adding codes to your file, you probably want to put a note, all right? Something like, so custom metadata from create post. This way you remind yourself of what you did. And if you just highlight it and press Command / it wraps it in this and this so that it creates a comment, and this doesn't get read by your file. Okay, this is just a comment. And then that way you know why you placed this in here, okay? And then you could always do something like, to remind yourself also when this ends, highlight it. There you go, we got a comment. All right, so what we want to do is come in here and we're gonna move off all of this with Command and Control X, paste that into there. Always clean it up, and then we will save changes. Go back to our post and refresh it. And you'll see we have our featured image, we have our post content, and then we have our data there. Now, once again, you could place this function anywhere in your file system that you want it, in your blog post system that you have set up for your custom WordPress website. Now, pulling in custom metadata from the WordPress blog post is a feat in itself, and different people have different methods in which they pull in those custom meta fields. We'll look forward to a video that I have on that as well. For now, this is a great way to show you how to get started with creating posts with forms through Ninja Fields. Now that you know how to use Ninja Forms to post to the front end of your website, use the comment section down below. Let us know how you plan to use this feature. Don't forget the links that you need are below. Like and subscribe if you found this video so I can make more like this. I appreciate your support, and till the next time, aloha.